As you come on down, we're going to talk about Peter, one of Jesus' disciples, today. But before we get to talking about Peter, I want to tell a little bit of a story. Do you guys like stories? Yeah, so once there was a mouse. This mouse was particularly afraid of a cat. Makes sense for a mouse to be afraid of a cat, right? Cats might eat the mouse. So the mouse was really afraid of this cat. So the mouse went to his friend, the magician, and said, "Hey, can you help me?" The magician said, "Yes, I know exactly what to do to solve your cat problem." The magician turned the mouse into a cat. Now he wasn't afraid of the cat anymore, because he was a cat too. But you know what? The mouse had a new problem. Do you know what it was? Dogs. Yeah, the mouse was a cat now, so dogs were chasing it, and the mouse was really scared of dogs. So he went to his magician friend and told him all about his troubles and said, "Hey, can you help me? I'm really scared of dogs." And the magician said, "I know exactly what to do." So the magician turned the mouse that was now a cat into a dog. Yeah, and so the dog problem was solved, but this was a very unusual neighborhood. So the mouse had a new problem, and that was lions. Lions are very scary to a dog, much larger than a dog, right? Lions are scary to most things. And so the cat, well, no, he's a dog now. No, he's a mouse who's a cat who's a dog. This dog went to his magician friend and said, "Hey, can you help me?" And the magician said no. Because you know what your problem is? You might be turned into a lion, but you would still have a mouse's heart. You're still afraid of all of these things. And it's not about how big you are or how strong you are, you're just afraid. And so if I turned you into a lion, you'd be afraid of something else. So the magician says no. And the mouse has to learn to not be afraid. In fact, the magician turns the mouse back into a mouse. Now, this is just a story. There's no such thing as magicians who can turn mice into cats and cats into dogs and dogs into lions. And it's all make-believe, but we all can be afraid of things from time to time. And today, in one of our readings, we're going to hear about how Peter was really, really afraid of what other people would think. He wasn't afraid of cats or dogs or lions. He was afraid of what people would think of him. Are you ever afraid of that? Maybe worried that people will make fun of you or say mean things to you? I can be afraid of that sometimes too. Well, Peter was worried that people would associate him with Jesus. Peter was worried that they would see him and say, you follow that Jesus guy, right? And ultimately, when people said, "Hey, do you know that Jesus? Are you friends with Jesus?" Peter denied being friends with Jesus 3 times. It's pretty sad, actually, because Peter was one of Jesus' best friends. How do you think it made Jesus feel to have one of his best friends say that he didn't even know him? Bad, right? Yeah, it would be pretty sad if your friend said, "I don't know that Theo guy." It would be sad if they said that, right? If your friends said that they didn't know you because they didn't want to be associated with you, that'd be sad, and that's what happened to Jesus. But you know what Jesus did for Peter? You think Peter was cut off and Jesus said, "I never want to be friends with you again"? Do you think that's what he did? No, it's not what he did. Jesus forgave Peter. Peter did this terrible thing. He denied even knowing Jesus. But Jesus didn't cut Peter off. Jesus didn't yell at Peter. Jesus forgave Peter. And when we do bad things to Jesus. When we do bad things, Jesus forgives us too. We can feel really guilty when we do those bad things. But Jesus, because he died on the cross, he not only forgives us, he takes that guilt away. And so we have that exciting opportunity today to not be afraid, to not feel guilty, to know that Jesus has forgiven us for the things that we've done, whether they're big or small, lion size or mouse size. And so let's go to him in prayer and thank him for this gift. Dear Jesus, thank you for forgiving Peter and for forgiving us. Help us to forgive others and love others like you forgive us. Amen.